And other scholars mention that they will have no time even to make tawbah. Yeah. And they will just fall dead. So you see, this ayah tells us about the helplessness of people. You know, when someone is dying, these are the things that people do, right? But when the day of judgment will happen, when the hour, the trumpet will begin, you will not be able to do anything. You see, when people are dying, they long to be surrounded with their family members, right? With their loved ones. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is setting a scene in front of us that nothing of that sort is going to be possible. Yeah. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ فَإِذَا هُمْ مِنَ الْأَجْدَاثِ إِلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَنْصِلُونَ. And the horn will be blown, and at once from the graves to their Lord they will hasten. So, ajdath. So, nufiqa is the blowing, sur is the trumpet. Okay? فَإِذَا, and when, whom they. Minal ajdath. Ajdath coming from the word jim daltha. So, these are unmarked graves. So normally you see we have a tombstone or a stone, something to mark that this is a grave. So, but here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning the word ajdath. These are unmarked graves. So, for the word grave, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions a few words. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions qabr. Qabr is another word for the grave. Ajdath, that you're reading, and then marqad as well, you will learn. So these are graves. So these people will come out when the trumpet will be blown. People will be coming out from unmarked graves. Another meaning of unmarked grave will be like some people who died in situations where their bodies were never found. Maybe they drowned. Maybe something happened and their bodies were never found. So all these people, they will come out in speed. And the word here, ila rabbihim. So you see, their whole life they spent running away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And now look, what are they doing? They're hastening to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ila rabbihim. Look at that. They were disobedient, but what is happening? They are going towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yansilun, meaning they have no choice, but they are driven to the plains where they are going to be accountable and questioned. Yansilun, they will not have a choice in that matter. So you see, this blast, this horn, the blowing of this horn is going to signal that all the creation will be brought back to life. And the earth is not going to be the earth that we know. It's going to be a newly created earth. And people are not going to be in control of their affairs at all. And all the people from the time of Adam alayhi salam till the last man, they will all be assembled. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Luqman that your creation and your resurrection, Surah Luqman ayah 28, Allah mentions subhanahu wa ta'ala, your creation and your resurrection are not except as that of a single soul. And in Surah Qamar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in ayah number 7, they come out of their graves as if they were locusts spreading, meaning there's going to be so many people. And in Surah Rum, ayah number 25, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and then when He calls you with a single call from the earth, immediately do you come forth. So you see, people are doing whatever they want to in this time and their time on earth. But when the day of resurrection happens, they will not have a choice. And no matter how much they ran away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the day of judgment, they will be running towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he says that on the day of judgment, the earth will be exchanged for another earth, and the heavens as well. And the dead will emerge alive from their graves by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and by his call to them. So you see how important it is that we know what is going to happen. I hear people, they say, I can't just go on a holiday, I need to plan my holiday. Or, I need to have everything written down, laid out in detail, which hotel I'm going to, what is the places I'm going to be visiting, every single thing, every minute detail is written. So because they want to be in control of everything, right? I'm not saying it's a bad habit. I'm not saying that. But what I'm trying to say is that in the matters of dunya, that's what they're doing. But when it comes to matters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are so ignorant. They don't plan. Whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us exactly what's going to happen. Then why are we so heedless? So what will these people then say? They will say, قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون. They will say, oh, woe to us, who has raised us up from our sleeping place? The reply will be, this is what the most merciful had promised, and the messengers told the truth. So here you see another word for the grave, marqadina. Yeah, marqadina. It comes from the word ra qaf dal. It means bedding, or a place where people go to sleep. Yeah. So you see those people who insisted, um, that once they die, nothing is going to happen. Okay, that death is final, and they made fun of the afterlife. Yeah, those people are going to get the shock of their lives when they are going to be awakened on the day of judgment. Yeah, and this is how they're going to be surprised and say, who has raised us up from our sleeping place? Yeah, Ibn Kathir rahimullah, he mentions that this does not mean that they have been resting peacefully. Yeah, but the punishment of the grave will feel very little to what is going to happen, in front of them, because the horrors of the day of judgment will be so immense that they will not feel that what they endured in the grave was a lot. I just want you to reflect on this. This is something very, very profound. For example, I'll tell you in our example. So when you have a terrible headache, terrible headache, and you come out of that headache and you feel better, does that mean that you did not feel the intensity of the headache at that moment? No, you did. Or, even better, let me just give you an example. So you are not well, okay? But then something happens to your child, and you run to them and you attend to them, and what they are, it's an emergency situation. Does that mean that your headache was trivial? What, your headache was not important? Was not, you were not feeling the pain? You were. But what came after was even more horrifying, that you forgot your pain. The same is here, that these people, although it's written that who has raised us from our sleeping place, It may seem to you that they are having a good time, they were having a good time in the grave. That is not true, because we know from the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the punishment starts from the grave. But what is preceding them is a dream in comparison to the reality that is in front of them. And they realized then that they had denied and the day of judgment, and they had failed to prepare. Yeah. So then what do they say? That this is what Ar-Rahman had promised, and the messengers have told the truth. You see, the Mufassirun, they have given two interpretations concerning this last statement. They said that the angels or the believers answered the questioners by informing them that what is presently taking place, yeah, it is a promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fulfillment of the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the second interpretation is that the ones who have questioned, yeah, the disbelievers, they are saying that because they remember the divine message that they had rejected. Yeah. And you know and they bear witness to that they had indeed been warned. And and whatever they had been warned is in front of them now. You see, resurrection, the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about it in the Quran. And don't you think that it is a logical conclusion? Because if there was no day of judgment, yeah, there would be no purpose in the creation of man. Yeah. Because you see, there's so many injustices happening. So many people are getting away with so much. So there has to be an element of accountability. There has to be fairness. There has to be justice. And people are not going to be getting away. They may get away in dunya because of their influence, because of whatever reason. But you see, and the day of judgment has to happen. So then people will be held accountable. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Mu'minun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Ayah 115 mentions, do you think that we had only created you uselessly and that you would not be returned to us? Meaning we have a purpose in dunya. We're just not here to eat and enjoy and have this and that and enjoy ourselves. No, certainly not. We have a purpose to fulfill. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون. That it will not be but one blast, and at once they all are brought present before us. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, فَالْيَوْمَ لَا تُظْلَمُ نَفْسٌ شَيْئًا وَلَا تُجْزَوْنَ إِلَّا مَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. So today no soul will be wronged at all, and you will not be recompensed except for what you used to do. So shay'an here meaning nothing wrong will be done to you. So this day is going to be a day of fairness. No one is going to be treated unjustly, whether the person was someone who did good deeds or someone who was rebellious. Yeah, no single person will be deprived of the good that they had earned, and no one will bear the burden of another, and nobody will get a punishment that will be greater than what they deserved. So there will be exact justice. And this is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to all his creation in general. Of course, in the believers will have additional mercy. in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive their minor sins and enter them into Jannah. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he narrated that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Allah has recorded the good and the bad deeds. Whoever intends a good deed but does not do it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala records it as one complete good deed. But if he intends it and does it, Allah records it as 10 good deeds, up to 700, to many times over that. And if he intends a bad deed but does not do it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala records it as a complete good deed. And if he intends it and does it, Allah records it as one bad deed. So you see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is kind. Isn't it the kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are being told, look, if you ignore the signs, this is going to be the result. So don't get to this, don't make things happen that you lead to such moment that you have a moment of regret. Instead, prepare. So, the lessons for us is that we need to strengthen our belief in the akhirah. We need to prepare from this day onwards for our meeting with our Rabb. Do things that He subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased. Always keep asking yourselves, whatever I'm saying, whatever I'm doing, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to be happy with me? Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to be upset with me? So hold yourself back. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if your heart says no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not pleased with it. And again, we don't follow the heart, we follow the Quran and the Sunnah. Yeah? And then work in this world so we will not have regrets in the hereafter. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those people who take heed from what we learn. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Surah Muminun was ayah 115. Okay? Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive the wrong that I have said. All the good was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those people who take heed now. Make us not of those who are arrogant. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heal the sick among us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala um, bring ease to the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us better worshippers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see how important Surah Yaseen is for the living. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to internalize the Quran in our hearts. Jazakumullahu khairan, my dears. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all, shower you with infinite mercy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you all secure. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heal your niece, my dear sister Samina. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you all lots of goodness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide your family members. May Allah make you subhanahu wa ta'ala give your children, keep your children on righteous path. The ones who sisters who don't have children, Ya Rab, grant them pious children. The ones who are not married, Allah, Ya Allah, grant them pious husbands, the ones who will love them and honor them. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase us all in beneficial knowledge. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all our efforts. Jazakumullahu khairan, my dears. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka, astaghfiruka, astaghfiruka. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.